We are currently in early June 2018. In terms of the English cricket summer, the first phase is over. England played against Pakistan in a 2-match test series and it was tied 1-1. We now are approaching the second phase of the English cricket summer, which is a 5-game one-day series between England and Australia. It will involve 5 one-day internationals and 1 2020 game, before then moving on to the third phase of the summer, which is the big 5-match test series between England and India, rounding it off finally with some one-dayers and 2020s between England and India. The significant thing about this series is not who is going to win, because as a typical bilateral series there is no consequence to the series whatsoever. The significance is that this is one of the major World Cup preparation times, seeing as how these two teams are going to be two of the leading competitors in the Cricket World Cup in the winter of 2019. Just 12 months away, this series is going to be very significant in terms of the preparation for that event. Let me explain why. In the Australian summer of 2018-19, Australia has only got 6 one-day internationals scheduled, which are versus India and South Africa, and Australia also has a small number of other one-day internationals booked against Pakistan in the United Arab Emirates. So in terms of approaching this World Cup and actually making sure that they get enough match time to be the best team they can to actually give this World Cup a red-hot go, Australia does not have that many games to prepare for. So, in comparison to only playing 6 one-day internationals over the course of the entire 2018-19 summer, Australia get to play 5 during the 2018 winter against England. And this will be a major source of gameplay for Australia, considering the fact that Australia has already lost Steve Smith and David Warner for the entire 12-month period approaching the World Cup due to their suspensions. It means that the rest of the Australian side needs to prepare very well in order to be in their best possible form and skill set for this World Cup, because Warner and Smith, if they do return to the side, will have no one-day international opportunity to actually get more match experience and return to the side in some sort of comfortableness. They will be walking in having played no first-class cricket over the last 12 months. This means that the rest of the Australian side has to do most of the legwork in terms of actually winning games, scoring runs, taking wickets, maintaining match fitness, and maintaining good quality one-day international form. So the significance of this series cannot be underplayed for Australia. They are in a position where they're not in great form. They have not won a lot of one-day international series in the last 3 years. Their 2 best players are not going to be playing with them for the next 12 months, and they are well behind their preparation for winning this World Cup. And so Australia need to take advantage of this 5-match series to the utmost level. In comparison, England are in supreme form. They have, at long last, built up a very strong, very competitive, very talented, and very aggressive one-day international side. It's full of very talented players, and they have one of the best units in terms of playing one-day international cricket that we've ever seen. They could be going into this World Cup as favourites, if not second favourites, behind India. The power that England have displayed over the last particularly 24 months has been truly awesome, and it has been an inspiration. They have been the leaders in terms of this trend. And this 5-match series, apart from the one-day internationals that they'll be playing against India, and then the 5-match series they'll be playing in Sri Lanka during the 2018-19 winter, this is going to be the major opportunity for England to display to a world audience just how competitive they are as a one-day international side. This is their big opportunity to actually give the world a taste of what England as a one-day team are capable of. And so this series is not going to be crucial for England because all of the hard work is already done and they're now just waiting for the World Cup to happen. This is about actually making a statement to the world that they are a world competitor in terms of one-day international cricket, that they are going into this tournament with an attempt to win it. And so this is a time to take notice, to actually feel fear in the rest of the world teams, to actually see what England are capable of doing. So these two teams are going into this series with very different intentions. Australia is well behind the ball. Their planning for this World Cup are very well behind schedule. Their plans are not going very well, and they continue to have bad form, and their personnel stocks are very shaky. In comparison, England are in a whole heap of confidence and aggression and are looking very pleased with themselves. So whoever is able to do well in this series is going to shape a lot of perceptions as we come into this final 12 months. Because most world cricket teams do not have a lot of one-day international cricket scheduled, and so we're not going to be getting a lot of preparatory analysis or entrees in terms of who is the best skilled team, who's the best talented team, and who is the most informed team. We simply aren't going to have the same situation we have had in previous World Cups, where they do play a lot of one-day international cricket in the 12 months before a World Cup, so that we get a full scope and understanding of who are the movers and shakers in world cricket and who are not. So this series is coming up very soon. There are just 2 tour matches that Australia are going to be playing. They're playing a couple of 50-over games against English county sides, and then they've got the 5-match one-day international series against England, and then the 2020 game, and it all comes to an end in late June. And so this entire tour just takes the 1 month, the month of June. And then at the end of that tour, we'll get a sense of where these two teams are, how good England actually are, whether England are confident enough to make a real go at this World Cup, and whether Australia can actually pull together a competent-looking one-day international team, lacking any form, lacking any confidence, lacking Steve Smith and Dave Warner. And then when July comes around, everything will move on to the next phase of the 2018 summer, which is the England versus India Test Series. We will be off doing other things, and so I am very much looking forward to following along this one-day series to see whether or not Australia can put up a competitive performance against the might of England, and whether England can actually dominate Australia to such an extreme extent that they could be sending out a very aggressive and powerful message to the world that they are going to be competing for this year for the 2019 World Cup. Thank you very much.